Hey guys, it's that one couple again,
Hi.
and we're gonna tell you the story of how we became that couple.
Yeah, so we figured that if you were going to go along on this journey with us and be interested, you might want to know a little bit more about us. Here we go.
Okay, so the day we met, we ended up meeting up at her nephew's house
Mm-hmm.
because I used to go to school with him.
Yeah.
And then he texted me one day and said, "Hey, we're gonna go to a party up in Temecula. That's where my family lives."
Mm.
And he was like, "Hey, do you want to go to a party with us?" And I thought, oh, dude, it's a party. There's gonna be beers and stuff. I'm down.
Yeah, all I knew up until that point was that he was inviting another friend along, and that friend happened to be this guy.
Yeah, and then the way that he said it to me was, well, I asked him, like, who's going? And he said, it's gonna be me, the two friends that we know, and my auntie. And I was like, auntie? Like, how old is his auntie? We ended up meeting at his house, and I saw her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so when you came in the door, I thought you were really cute, obviously. He happened to be wearing this, like, red beanie. I think that I was too nervous to really, like, introduce myself or make introductions, so I just kind of went up to him and was like, I like your beanie. And that's how we met. I think we're very, like, we were kind of vibing the whole night. And then by the end of it, he happened to ask for my phone number.
Mm-hmm.
But he did it in, like, this sly way where he, like, asked one of our guy friends for his number and then turned around and asked me. But that kind of leads us into the next part of the story, which is, I like to call it the getting to know each other phase. We were texting each other an awful lot. I guess I would call us friends at that time.
Yeah.
We were, like, asking each other really generic questions.
Just the type of, like, get to know each other questions. Like, oh, like, what's your favorite color?
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite movie?
What's your favorite pie? I remember that one.
Pumpkin pie. Mm.
Apple. But, it still worked. We still really, we, like, got to know each other, became more friendly. And at that time, I kept telling him he should install Snapchat on his phone. Because he didn't, for some reason, he didn't want to do it. Like, he refused to have it.
I refused to do it because I thought it was stupid.
But now you use it more than me.
I know. Because at first I was like, 7-second videos. It's the same thing as Vine. Rest in peace. Yeah, it's like, the fact that, like, dude, you have a 7-second video and you just put it up there and in a day it just gets deleted. I was like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But now you love it.
And now I use it.
But that kind of got us communicating more. Like, we were texting, we were Snapchatting. I think even, like, sometimes we were calling each other occasionally and talking.
Yeah.
And, like,
I would call you after work and see how you were.
And even though, like, we weren't dating, like, I was sending him, like, heart emojis and stuff, which, I'm sorry, like, that really kind of confused him at the time because he already wanted to put the idea of a relationship out, and I just kept saying no, but then I would still send him heart emojis and tell him good night, and, like, so, yeah. So, we did have a first date. He ended up taking me to get burritos, which was a really messy first date food. It was at a place called Cotijan, and it was, like, outdoors. I remember, like, he came to pick me up, and it was my brother, my kuya, and his friend, who also happens to be, like, a brother to me, who first talked to him. And they were asking him, like, oh, what time are you going to have her home? And I think you said 7?
Such intimidation. I think it was 7.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'll have her home by 7.
And he was like, you better bring her 7 on the dot.
Yeah.
Not before, not after. I was like, I mean, they can bring her back before. It's not bad.
The great part about that is we ended up getting back, like, what, 7:05 or something like, I don't know.
I was so freaked out because I was like, yo, these two guys are a lot taller than me, and they're a lot more buffer than I am, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna kick my ass.
But we just had burritos, and the day went really well.
Yeah.
But the first thing that he had to do when we got back to the house, when he dropped me off, was go take a poop.
Oh, you have to tell that? Oh, God.
And, one of my brother's friends is banging on the door while he's trying to go, and he's like, "Hey, bro, it's 7:08, or, whatever time it was a little bit after. And I just remember, like, just laughing my ass off at this poor guy.
And I could even poop. Like, every time.
Did you not poop?
Well, I did.
Or, okay, you did.
I did when he stopped banging on the door. And that brings us to the chase.
At some point after the first date, we had a couple more, and we kept hanging out. And even though we ended up kissing and getting even closer and closer, I wasn't giving him a chance to be my boyfriend or to create a steady relationship. I just kept, like, pushing it off and pushing it off.
Hence the chase.
And this was on for, like, what, 6 months?
6 months. And at some point I did give up. I gave up for, like, a couple of months until...
We did stop talking for a while.
Yeah, we stopped talking because I just felt like, you know, it wouldn't be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get there, and by the time I get to the top, I just get pushed back, and then all that work was for nothing,
But I did end up inviting you to my birthday, and that's kind of what started things again. I was very excited to see him when he actually showed up to my birthday party. Honestly, I didn't expect you to come. But then, like, the last part of that 6 months started after he had come to my birthday. And finally, on May 1st, 2015, I had this revelation in my head that I really did like this guy and I really did want to date him. You drove, like, what, an hour?
Yeah, I was in Temecula, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was heading home. Because I used to go to the college near her place.
Mm-hmm.
And I was heading back home from my parents' house,
Mm-hmm.
back down to San Diego with my roommate. And as I was driving, I did get a text saying, "Hey, would you be able to meet me at the local Taco Bell?" And I was like, I don't know if I want to, but I will go just because.
Because you still liked me.
Yeah.
So I was actually there with a couple of friends. And when he walked in, I think that was kind of the moment where everything, like, it just all came together and all made sense. And I knew that I wanted to be with this person. And I remember, like, running up to you and just, like, hugging you. And you were like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I was like, something go on? Am I supposed to beat someone up, or what's going on?
Yeah, he thought something was wrong because I was so legitimately happy to see him. So as we're walking out of the Taco Bell, I was like, "Hey, you know how, like, you've been wanting to be boyfriend and girlfriend?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "I think we should do that." And he was like,
Well, it was more like, hey, like, you should ask me again
oh, I did. I did force him to ask me again. You were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you have to ask me again." So he did.
So I was like, "Hey, would you like to be my girlfriend?"
And of course, I said yes. And that was the day that we became an official couple.
And for the past 2.5 years, she's been a pain in my ass.
But we love each other, obviously. We have arguments and fights like any couple does. Like, every couple does have have those moments. But I think the reason that we feel like we're that couple or that one couple is like sometimes we're very affectionate, I feel like, in public, and I think people like hate it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like we don't like make out with each other in public. Like we're not
No,
like
they're
the get a
just-
room couple or
Yeah.
anything.
But I think I think we kind of have that relationship where it's kind of like,
It's a little cheesy. It's very yeah.
yeah, it's so cheesy to the point where it's like, man, I wish I had that relationship.
And I think it's why we come across that way sometimes. Occasionally we do have friends who like comment on our stuff on social media and be like, "Oh, get married already," or things like that. We'll get there, but that's how we became that one couple. We hope you enjoyed learning our story. Guys, bye.